Lawyers for an Australian schoolboy arrested on drugs charges in Bali say they have persuaded Indonesian police to re-interview him later today. The 14-year-old from New South Wales is accused of possessing nearly 7 grams of marijuana. He was on holiday with his family in Kuta Beach when he was arrested on Tuesday afternoon. Indonesia correspondent Matt Brown is on the line from Denpasar. So, Matt, it's been a few days now since the boy's been in custody. How's he holding up?
Ros, his lawyer tells us that he's dressed and depressed. Last night I spoke to him here at the police headquarters in Denpasar. He told me the boy had just had his first meal since he was arrested near Kuta Beach on Tuesday. Kuta, of course, is a place most Australians will be familiar with, the famous stretch of beach in Bali that's drawn travellers here for decades. And it was near the beach where he was arrested. The police say that he was arrested after buying marijuana from a man on the beach. He then went to a massage and the police moved in shortly afterwards. But his lawyers have told us that they don't think that first interview was sound, that they don't believe it was done according to the procedures for handling minors.
The regulation is give the right to the minors to give for the assistant from the to get accompanied by the parents or by the lawyer. He angry, he crying, and he get the depression. So it's a little bit complicated about his mentality on this time.
So, Matt, is there a chance he could be released from Indonesia and taken back to Australia for trial if it comes to that?
Ros, I'm not sure about a trial in Australia, but his lawyers tell us that it's possible that one way this might be handled, depending on the boy's own circumstances, is that if, for example, he had an acknowledged marijuana problem in Australia and he'd been getting counselling for that problem and he could demonstrate that to the authorities here, it's possible he could be released into the custody of his parents. That said, the Foreign Minister, Kevin Rudd, has been saying that there is going to be no quick fix to this. And it's obviously a very serious position for him to be in. These sorts of judicial processes can go on for a very, very long time. The Foreign Minister's asked the Australian ambassador in Indonesia to make this his top priority. And the Prime Minister's also expressed her concern for the boy.
Our hearts really go out to them as they deal with this incredibly distressing circumstance. As a government, we have our best people working on this case of this 14-year-old boy. Our aim here is to provide every support we can to him and his family, and our aim is to get him back in Australia.
So, Matt, do lawyers there have more room to manoeuvre, have more options because this boy is a minor than if he were an adult?
Well, other than what I just mentioned, there is a procedure for handling minors within the judicial system. But I guess it's routinely ignored when it comes to Indonesian minors. They're often put through a gruelling process that applies to adults. If this boy is charged, though, there will be special procedures. The judge can declare the court closed and keep the media out. He's not allowed to be identified under Indonesian law. Officials in the court would have to not wear uniforms, for example. That said, an adult could be charged and convicted and face a maximum 12 years in prison for this kind of crime. The concession to a minor would be that would be halved. So the minimum is 2 years, the maximum could be 6 years in jail if all of this goes ahead.
All right, Matt, thank you.